Hello everyone, my name is Hannah James, and for today's project we will be talking about response generalization versus stimulus generalization. So for this project we will be talking about what is response generalization, some examples of that. We'll also go over the definition and what is stimulus generalization and some examples of that as well. Then we'll talk about a little trick that helped me study this in describing the differences between the two. Then we will go over the references and the BACB task list in relation to this. So what is response generalization? According to Cooper, the definition states the extent to which a learner emits untrained responses that are functionally equivalent to the trained target behavior. So in other words, it's the same stimulus but with similar responses. So those responses, they'll serve the same function, occur in the presence of a single stimulus. So for this slide, I found a source that I really liked through Pierce and Shinny, and it had a comment in there that talked about how response generalization occurs when a target response is strengthened and other similar responses increase in frequency. So for the example that I have on this slide is the stimulus is a friend walks into the room. Some of those responses could be hello, what's up, hey, or how's it going? So there's typically that one stimulus, and then there's various or similar responses going on in that scenario. Another example is your stimuli is you're hungry. So some of those responses could be you ask someone for a snack, or maybe you go grab one yourself, or maybe even make one. So all of those that share in common are they have that similar stimuli, but the responses vary slightly, but they still serve the same function. What is stimulus generalization? According to Cooper, the definition is when an antecedent stimulus has a history of evoking a response that has been reinforced in its presence, the same type of behavior tends to be evoked by stimuli that share similar physical properties with the controlling antecedent stimulus. So for this one, this has different stimulus, but one shared or similar response. For stimulus generalization, the same response is applied to different but similar stimuli, evoking the same response. In the example shown on the slide, the response is flashbacks, but the stimuli are slightly different. So one of them could be a police siren, an ambulance siren, a fire truck siren, or even a utility vehicle siren, but they're all evoking that same response, which is flashbacks. Another example that I found was the Little Albert experiment conducted by John B. Watson in relation to classical conditioning. However, the more I looked into it, it also showed some stimulus generalization. So before, the neutral stimulus was the white rat, the unconditioned stimulus was the noise, and then the unconditioned response eventually turned into fear during and after the experiment. However, over time, stimulus generalization was also shown because the same response of fear was shown to different but similar stimuli compared to the white rat, like a white bunny or even a white dog. So this experiment was a great example and representation of stimulus generalization. The best trick that I have found in studying this topic was honestly very simple. The difference between the response generalization and stimulus generalization. You put the word multiple in front of it. So for response generalization, it has multiple responses, then meaning one stimulus. For stimulus generalization, putting multiple in front of it makes it multiple stimuli and one response. That was the best trick and way that I have learned to study this topic. I hope it helps you guys. On this side, you will see my references that I use for this presentation, but also the BACB task list in relation to this topic. So for B11, it's define and provide examples of discrimination, generalization, and maintenance. And then the implementation of this topic is using procedures to promote stimulus and response generalization, which is G21. Thank you, and I hope you guys enjoyed.